This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Man charged with murder of technician who refused to remove CCTV. The Portmore police have made a breakthrough in their investigations into the death of a flow technician who was murdered at his home after he refused the demands of gangsters to remove a CCTV surveillance camera he had set up at his house. Kern McCullin, 39, otherwise called the Virus, was killed on White Lane, Naggahead in Portmore, St. Catherine on Saturday, October 30, 2021. The police say 21-year-old Dwayne Douglas, otherwise called Brady, of Rosemary Lane, Naggahead in Portmore, has been charged with murder and illegal possession of a firearm and ammunition. Douglas and two other men, all armed with handguns, had approached McCullin and opened gunfire, hitting him. Following weeks of detailed investigations, the police were able to connect Douglas to the crime, and he was subsequently arrested, interviewed, and charged. A court date for Douglas is being arranged. Angerballs over at NWC amid a road nightmare. Residents in Waterhouse, St. Andrew are outraged at the state of community corridors linked to Bay Farm Road amid the installation of sewage pipes. The affected roads are Dahlia and Verbena Avenues, where work has been ongoing since December, causing inconvenience for residents. One such a nuisance is the partial dismantling of some sidewalks, while others are covered with mounds of dirt that are transformed into a muddy mess after heavy rainfall, obstructing pedestrians. Householders are fuming at the National Water Commission, arguing that they were not advised of the timeline of the work. Some say the displacement has made it difficult to enter their yards, while others have had to park far from their gates because of holes dug by excavators. We not even get notified said this will go on in the community. How we feel about it, or nothing like that, said Kevin Nelson, a resident, adding that he woke up one day to find a workman on the street. Bridget Daly, another householder, said she fell into a crater last Tuesday while on her way home from work. The hole was not visible, she said, as the road was flooded. Describing the experience as terrifying, Daly recounted how she was trapped down to her waist when she was plunged into the chasm. A neighbor across the street noticed her fall and reached out to someone to offer assistance, she said. Daly's slippers remain as a warning to other passers-by not to tread that path. Questions posed to NWC Corporate Public Relations Manager Andrew Cannon on Tuesday were unanswered up to press time. Nelson explained that the neighborhood conditions are so bothersome that he and his girlfriend have had to place plastic bags on their feet and walk with their shoes in their hands. Sharing similar sentiments, a local bar owner expressed dissatisfaction with a dust nuisance that has dogged the community. This, she said, has caused a nightmare for her, and her counters are covered in dust shortly after cleaning them off. The dust a kill me, she said. If rain fall up there so, a bare mud man, you can't go up there so, she said. Workmen informed the news that they were contracted by the National Water Commission to install sewage infrastructure. They estimated that the work would be completed within the next 2 months. The next stage of work is expected to have an impact on Bay Farm Road itself, they said. St. Anne police laser in on some models of cars. The police in St. Anne will be keeping an eye out for certain models of cars as they step up efforts to curb crime and dampen the increasing numbers of fatalities on the roads. We are trying to do traffic enforcement and focus on the vehicles that are traditionally used in gun robberies and other crimes. So the Altis Crown, Nissan Tida, and Mark X, this is part of our murder reduction strategy, Deputy Superintendent Kevin Francis told the news. The strategy being pursued, he said, involves setting up a roadblock at the border of Trelawney and St. Anne. The aim is to reassure law-abiding citizens who feel threatened by criminals that the police will effectively carry out their duties and to target vehicles suspected of transporting firearms and ammunition. There were 55 murders in St. Anne in 2021, down from the 70 in 2020. Since the start of this year, 3 people have been murdered in the parish. Although the police failed to seize any guns when their operation started last Friday, Francis said they apprehended 5 people suspected of lottery scamming, while 18 others were prosecuted for breaches of the Road Traffic Act. Going forward, he said, the police will be working closely with the Transport Authority. 2 motor vehicles were also seized during the operation. The drivers were charged with lottery scamming related activities and offered bail. The 5 persons arrested were all from the parish of St. James, added Francis. He said the plan is that the ongoing operation will stem the flow of criminals from outside St. Anne while also helping to reduce motor vehicle crashes. Last year, we had 36 accidents and 38 fatalities, so our presence on the road is also a deterrent for speeding or persons who are not using the road properly, added Francis. In 2021, 11 pedestrians, 10 motorists, 2 pedal cyclists, 9 drivers, and 6 passengers were among those who died from traffic mishaps in the parish. 8 people died in 6 accidents on the Landover Main Road alone last year. There has been 1 collision on that road since the start of this year. 3 people died in that mishap. Port Maria Mayor calls for more police to be stationed in St. Mary. Mayor of Port Maria, Richard Query, is calling for more police to be deployed to St. Mary. Mr. Query says although St. Mary has recorded fewer crimes than other parishes, additional resources are needed to maintain public order. He warned that if the government continues to ignore the need for more police personnel, St. Mary could in a few years become like other crime-plagued parishes.
Continue treating St. Mary in the way we treat it, in terms of not providing personnel, then in 10 years' time, St. Mary can become St. James or Westmoreland or Hanover. So the way to prevent that, right, is to provide the resources to St. Mary, and for the persons in charge to utilize those resources so that we keep St. Mary a low crime parish. We also, my pet peeve is public order, and at times I don't see the focus on the public order issues, and those seem to have been left to the corporation.
Superintendent Bobette Morgan Simpson, commanding officer for the St. Mary Police Division, who was also at the meeting, agreed that more officers are needed in the parish. In terms of matters related to public order, she outlined that more than 16,000 traffic tickets were issued in the parish last year. The offenses include failure to wear seatbelts or helmets, as well as speeding. She said 2,358 tickets were issued for speeding.
You all know that that is not all, because we can never catch everybody. And that included for failure to wear seatbelt, for speeding, of course, and wearing of helmets and so on. For speeding tickets, actually speeding tickets were for 2,358 were actually issued for speeding.
Man injured in Russo Road drive-by shooting. A man was injured following a drive-by shooting which took place on Russo Road in St. Andrew Wednesday afternoon. According to a police source, the man was taken to hospital after the incident, which occurred in front of Wilso's salon sometime after 5 p.m. One female resident on the scene told the news, "Me say no gunshot through it sound like noise where the bike or trailer truck make. Around 4 shot me here," another woman added. Up to press time, the Jamaica Constabulary Force Corporate Communications Unit was unable to provide information about the incident. Tightening COVID-19 restrictions will have negative economic impact, said Chung. Financial analyst Dennis Chung has warned that tightening COVID-19 restrictions will have a long-term negative impact on the economy. Speaking with the news, the analyst said he believes that focus should instead be placed on adherence to the current COVID-19 protocols and boosting vaccination levels. Mr. Chung argued that the impact from the Omicron variant is not just because of measures that might come, but also the fact that a lot of people have already been sick and staying away from work. Economic activity, he explained, is spurred when people are able to move about and purchase, so he warned that if movement is restricted, then we are talking about a greater impact on the economy, which I don't know if we are prepared for. Mr. Chung said people fail to understand that things such as garbage collection, police services, and health services are funded from government revenue that comes from taxes, and the taxes come from economies thriving. Prime Minister Andrew Holness on Wednesday reaffirmed that all Jamaicans must take personal responsibility to protect themselves from COVID-19. Addressing the official opening of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade's new building in downtown Kingston, Mr. Holness insisted the current measures are sufficient. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.